Avrora was once a beautiful and thriving planet. Lush green fields stretched as far as the eye could see. Sparkling rivers flowed through the land. Now everything was covered in dust and debris. The air was heavy and dry. The sun beat down mercilessly. Avrora was dying. The once vibrant planet had succumbed to a terrible drought. The life-giving rivers had completely dried up. The plants had withered and died. The animals had vanished. The people of Avrora were struggling to survive. Their last hope lay in a legend of a miraculous plant called the Aether Bloom. The Aether Bloom was said to have magical properties. It could purify the air and water. It could bring life back to the barren land. But no one had seen the Aether Bloom for centuries. It was believed to be just a myth. Kaia, Juno, and Lynx were three young friends who refused to give up hope. They lived in a world where the skies were perpetually gray and the air was thick with dust. Despite the bleakness around them, they held onto a spark of optimism that set them apart from the rest. They were not like the other kids who had grown accustomed to the dust and despair. While others played aimlessly, Kaia, Juno, and Lynx were always on the lookout for something more, something that could change their world. They had heard stories of the old world from their elders, tales of lush green forests, clear blue skies, and rivers that sparkled in the sunlight. These stories painted a picture of a world that seemed almost magical to them. They dreamed of a day when Avrora would be green again. They would often gather around old tattered books and faded paintings, imagining what it would be like to live in such a paradise. Kaia was a bright and curious girl. Her inquisitive nature led her to explore every nook and cranny of their village, always searching for hidden knowledge. She loved reading the old books in the village library. These books were her window to the past, and she devoured every bit of information they contained. She was small for her age, but she had a big heart and even bigger courage. Her determination was infectious, inspiring her friends to believe in the impossible. Juno was a tech whiz. His fascination with technology was evident from a young age, and he spent hours tinkering with old gadgets. He could fix anything with wires and circuits. Broken radios, old computers, and even makeshift robots were no match for his skills. He was always tinkering with gadgets and dreaming of spaceships. Juno believed that technology held the key to their future, and he was determined to unlock its potential. Lynx was the bravest of them all. His courage knew no bounds, and he was always the first to step up when faced with a challenge. He was strong and athletic. His physical prowess made him the protector of the group, always ready to defend his friends. He was always ready to face any danger, real or imagined. Lynx's bravery gave the group the confidence to venture into the unknown. These three friends were inseparable. Their bond was unbreakable, forged through countless adventures and shared dreams. They explored the dusty ruins of their world together. Every abandoned building and forgotten alley held the promise of discovery. They shared their dreams and fears. They never lost hope. In each other, they found the strength to keep going no matter how tough things got. They believed that they could find a way to save their planet. Their determination was unwavering, and they spent countless hours planning and strategizing. Little did they know, their adventure was about to begin. The journey that lay ahead would test their limits and challenge their beliefs, but it would also bring them closer to their dream of a greener Avrora. One day, while exploring an old abandoned house, Kaia stumbled upon something incredible. The house had been abandoned for years, its walls crumbling and its floors creaking with every step. It was a place of mystery and forgotten stories. Hidden beneath layers of dust and cobwebs was a wooden chest. The chest was old, its wood worn and its hinges rusted. It seemed like it hadn't been touched in centuries. Inside the chest was a rolled-up parchment. Kaia carefully unfurled it, her hands trembling with excitement. It was a map, but not just any map. This map was ancient, its edges frayed and its ink faded. It was a relic from a time long past, a window into a forgotten world. It depicted landmarks long gone, swallowed by the relentless desert. The map showed places that no longer existed, buried under the sands of time. The map was old and faded, its details barely visible. But Kaia could just make out the words Aether Bloom written on it. The words were faint, but they were there, a clue to something important. There was also a drawing of a strange-looking plant with glowing petals. This was it. The plant seemed to glow with an otherworldly light, a beacon of hope in the darkness. This was the key to saving their planet. The children were ecstatic. They had found a clue, a way to save their world from the brink of destruction. They had to find the Aether Bloom. It was their only hope. the one thing that could turn the tide and bring life back to their dying planet.
I recognize some of these landmarks. The excitement in their voice was palpable, a spark of hope ignited by the ancient map. This map leads to an old observatory on the other side of the Dust Bowl, the deadliest part of the ravaged planet. The observatory was a place of legend, a beacon of knowledge in a world of chaos.
It was a dangerous journey, but they had to take the risk. The path was fraught with peril, but the children were determined. They knew the stakes were high. They were Avrora's last hope. With determination in their hearts and the ancient map as their guide, they set out on their quest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their journey was fraught with danger. Every step they took was a gamble, a risk that could lead them into unforeseen peril. The children knew that their path was not going to be easy, but they were determined to push forward, no matter the cost. The moment they stepped into the Dust Bowl, they were met with their first obstacle. The air was thick with dust, making it hard to breathe, and the ground was cracked and dry, a testament to the harsh conditions they were about to face. A gang of robotic scavengers, their metal bodies rusted and battered, blocked their path. These machines, once designed for a different purpose, now stood as menacing sentinels, their eyes glowing with a cold, mechanical light. These robots were programmed long ago to collect resources. They were efficient and relentless, scouring the land for anything of value. But now, their programming had gone awry, turning them into unpredictable threats. Now they were just malfunctioning relics, hostile to anything that crossed their path. Their once purposeful existence had devolved into a chaotic menace, attacking anything that moved. The scavengers were programmed to find and collect valuable resources. Their sensors were finely tuned to detect even the slightest hint of metal or energy, making them formidable opponents. They saw the children as a threat. To the scavengers, the kids were just another obstacle in their endless quest for resources, something to be eliminated. They moved towards them, their metal claws scraping the dry earth. The sound was eerie, a reminder of the danger that was closing in on them. A chill ran down their spines. The children could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on them, the fear gnawing at their resolve.
We have to think fast. If we don't come up with a plan quickly, we're done for. We can't fight them head on. They're too strong and too many. We need to find another way. We have to outsmart them. Use our brains instead of brawn. There has to be a way to get past them without a direct confrontation.
They rely on motion sensors. If we stay still, they might not detect us. If we can distract them with movement, we can slip past them. We need to create a diversion, something to draw their attention away from us.
Lynx, always eager for action, grabbed a handful of rusty scrap metal and flung it in the opposite direction. The pieces clattered loudly, echoing through the barren landscape. The clattering sound drew the attention of the scavengers. Their heads snapped towards the noise, their sensors whirring as they tried to pinpoint the source. Their sensors whirred and they turned in unison, lumbering towards the noise. This was their chance. The children knew they had only a few moments to make their move. The children made a run for it, their hearts pounding in their chests. Every second counted, and they pushed themselves to move as quickly and quietly as possible. They slipped past the distracted scavengers and continued their journey. Relief washed over them, but they knew this was just the beginning. The path ahead was still fraught with danger, and they had to stay vigilant.